James Cleverly is the chairman of the Conservative Party. James Cleverly, good evening. You'll be running the figures every 5 minutes, I'm sure, from now until Saturday. But you don't have the figures, and you sold the DUP down the river.
Well, what we have seen now is the Prime Minister bring back a deal that many people, all the informed commentators and many people in the House of Commons said was impossible. He said that we wanted to get rid of the backstop, and that was got rid of. He said he wanted to reopen the withdrawal agreement, and that was reopened. So things which are difficult can be done. Doesn't mean they're impossible, but it's not going to be easy, and there's a lot of work to do.
But let's just be clear, the DUP propped up the Conservative government for the last 2 years, and the DUP, the integrity of the whole of the United Kingdom, has not held together. And Northern Ireland is going to be treated differently, and that's exactly what the DUP didn't want. And what you're going to try and do is do without them and turn some more MPs.
The whips will be talking to everybody, and that includes members of Parliament from the DUP.
And the 21 of your own rebels.
Talking to everybody, and opposition MPs as well, because a number of people said that what they were fearful of, and Nick Soames encapsulated that, what they were worried about was leaving without a deal. The Prime Minister's brought back a deal. It's a deal that works. It's a deal that maintains the integrity of the United Kingdom, and for Northern Ireland gives elected representatives in Northern Ireland a say about how the relationship with the EU moves forward for them.
Well, let's just see whether it is acceptable, because you've got members of the ERG you think might come on board, but then you've got the Brexit party saying, well, this really doesn't work. This is not Brexit. And yet you would presumably think it's a harder Brexit than Theresa May was offering. The
phrase hard Brexit, soft Brexit, these things have been
well, free trade agreement, the idea is you're going for less regulatory alignment. That's the whole point. It is a tougher ask.
The Prime Minister made it very clear that there were a small number of changes that he wanted to see which he felt would make this deal workable. He secured those changes, and what I really hope happens now is the various members of Parliament who have said over the last 18 months or so that what they were worried about was a Brexit without an agreement will recognise that this is a deal, it's a deal that works, and that they'll support it in the House of Commons.
So do the 21 Tory rebels, are they offered the whip back now in the hope that they will vote for the deal, or are they told that they will get the whip back after they've voted for the deal? Well,
whipping is not my responsibility. That's a judgment call for
You're the chairman of the party. You must have an influence.
But ultimately it's a decision for the Prime Minister.
Do you think they should get the whip back?
In consultation with the Chief Whip. What I want to do...
But do you think that, straightforwardly, as the chairman of the party, as somebody who presumably wants to have the broadest church possible for the party in order perhaps to secure another election victory, do you think these rebels should get the whip back?
Well, what I want to see is members of Parliament voting through the deal. And I don't think it should be a transactional thing, that the offer of...
Oh, come on. Politics is transactional.
No, what this should be about is people sticking to the promises that they made publicly. The Prime Minister promised he'd renegotiate a deal, and he's made good on his promise. Other MPs have promised that if no deal was off the table, they would vote for a deal. And I really hope they do, because the British people are fed up with us. We've rowed about this in Parliament for over 500 hours. And what the British people want is us to get on with their priorities: schools, hospitals, police, increasing the minimum wage. Those are things we've committed to. Those are things we want to do.
So are you going to be love-bombing Labour MPs in Brexit areas where people voted to leave in the referendum? Is that what you're going to be doing, love-bombing them?
What we're going to do is we're going to remind people that promised that they would respect the referendum result, that they would vote for a deal if one was presented. Remind them that that's what they've said, and that's what the British people expect them to do.
And if you lose that vote on Saturday and there is an extension, the do or die just goes out the window, because there'll have to be an extension.
Well, we're working to get the deal over the line. And as I say, if everybody sticks to their word and votes the way they said they would if a deal was presented, then we'll have the numbers to get through.
James Cleverly, thanks very much indeed.